Hello. Thank you for your interest in our BT470 remote display. In this video, I will demonstrate configuring the remote display using several setup methods, starting with the easiest method. The BT470 can communicate using RS-232, 422, or 485, along with current loop and Ethernet communications. It can be configured using the Auto Learn mode, the Setup button on the main board, web panel configuration, or using WagSet software for custom configurations. Next, we'll connect our communication wires. Make sure that the power cord is unplugged due to the exposed terminals on the main board. Turn on the remote display. I will demonstrate how to factory default the settings to erase any previous setup. You can skip this step on new scoreboards, but could be useful when having problems. Start by pressing and holding the left micro button. Continue to hold until you see Reset and then Default. Once default's displayed, you can let up on the button. The scoreboard will then reboot and start up in Auto Learn mode. Currently, I don't have a string transmitting to the scoreboard. Next, let's add a string, and you'll notice the green LED start to flash. The scoreboard will start auto-learning the string, and then display the weight. Next, we're going to manually set up the protocol. Hold the left micro button until you see Proto. Let up on the button, and you'll see the current protocol setting is 0 Auto Learn. Protocols 53 and 54 are for the B-TEK string. So let's continue to press the micro button until we reach 53. All right, now that we're at 53, let's press and hold it to set it. Once 53 is displayed, it'll say saved and then reboot. Now if we want to change to a normal font, let's press and hold the micro button again. We'll press it one more time to go to 54. And press and hold to set. Next, I'll show you the web panel configuration method. This comes in really helpful when you're already using Ethernet communications to talk to the scoreboard. Start by opening your web browser. Then we're going to key in our IP address of the scoreboard. .192.168.1.11 is the default. Press enter. It's going to come up and ask you to sign in. Admin is the username, and DBPS is the password. This is also located on the product label sticker on the back of the scoreboard if you ever need it. Once signed in, we can see the network settings on the first page. Advanced settings allow us to change the password. Protocol lets us change the protocol settings. Status will show us the ambient brightness sensor along with the firmware. Firmware will allow us to switch to an update mode to update the firmware over Ethernet. And reset will reset the device or restore to factory settings. For this demonstration, we're going to set the protocol. So select Basic Protocol, and then the drop-down will show you the different settings that you can select. Let's change it back to bold font. Click Save. We can then change the IP address that's going to be transmitting from the indicator. Click Save. And we're all set. We're going to be transmitting from this IP address on port 2102 with the B-TEK string. Next, let's demonstrate using the WAGSET software. When opening it up, we're going to find a drop-down menu for the standard protocols. Let's select the B-TEK serial string, click Set, and then we can come in here and choose from our different options. The basic data is where you can change the port the data is streaming over. So let's say you had a multi-axle scale and we had 4 different scoreboards. We could change the port number that scale A, B, C, and some scale was going over just by changing this value here and programming each individual display with a different port number. We can also come down to the display brightness settings. We can change the profile. Internal standard profile is the default. We can change what's displayed when no communication is coming through. We can add advertising text. We can customize our settings. This will change the different font types. This will change the text flow speed if we're streaming like no comm or advertising text. And we can also change or lock the units that are displayed, or the scale will send the units in the string. We change the IP address of the scale terminal. And after we're done programming, we'll click Send Configuration. We're going to send it to the IP address of the scoreboard. So you may need to change the IP address here. Port 2101 is the default. And then we click Send. Task was finished successfully. And now we can start streaming. With the WAGSET software, we can also create our own custom profiles. Go to File, click New. We can then create our own profile. You'll notice that all of the data frames now available to select. So depending on the string that your indicator is sending, we're going to program each of these fields to match your string and coming from your indicator. If you need additional technical assistance, contact B-TEK's technical support at 330-754-3880 and dial 2 after the recording. Thank you, and have a great day.